Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So the news today is that Animoca Brands is bringing its previously announced MotoGP game, now called MotoGP Ignition, and it's coming to the Flow blockchain. It's also announced the first NFT sale for that game. So let's re-spin a little bit. So Animoca Brands has announced a number of motorsport games. So F1 Delta Time is currently live on the Ethereum blockchain and suffering from gas fees. MotoGP was announced getting on for a year ago now, I think, but no game player or anything like that has been spoken about. Animoca Brands had announced that MotoGP was coming to Flow, so that's not a surprise. Flow is the new blockchain from Dapper Labs, the people behind CryptoKitties, and has proved immensely successful over the last 2 months, launching the NBA Top Shot NFT collectible product that has now done over $225 million of trading activity. So that's a pretty big deal. We've been expecting lots of games to start launching on Flow. We're starting to see marketplaces and NFT drops and that sort of stuff happening as well. But MotoGP is probably the first game to launch on Flow. As a NBA Top Shot is a collectible. There will be a game version of it, which we believe is running on is a mobile game, but that seems to have been kind of a bit delayed while Dapper Labs deals with the success of just the collectibles. So good deal for Animoca Brands. So about the game here is interesting. So MotoGP Ignition is a competitive management and collectibles game. So one part of it, like NBA Top Shot, will be collecting. So collecting motorbikes and riders, and then there'll be a management game, which is a little bit like F1 Delta Time in a sense that you were kind of putting together a kind of a car with components and then seeing which cars were the fastest. But then there are elements in F1 Delta Time where you can actually kind of play the game in some form, which didn't really work out very well, I don't think. So this is much more sort of a meta game. You're collecting things, and then you're building kind of a team, and it's kind of basically built around the stats of your team, kind of who wins. I'm guessing that's how it's going to play out. So we can see here they're talking about these two forms of experience. So obviously you don't need to play the game. You can just, if you're really into moto sports, which I have no idea about at all, you can buy these fungible tokens, non-fungible tokens, which are collectibles, and they'll have bikes, riders, and I don't know what champions of MotoGP means. Maybe it means, I'm guessing this is the bikes and riders kind of currently, and the champions is maybe historical. I don't know, but they'll basically be collectibles. And then if you want to play the game, you can kind of collect those in such a way that you've got a cool racing team, and then race against other players. So Yat, who's the chairman of Animoca Brands, is obviously very excited that he is the next sports brand on the Flow blockchain, given the success of NBA Top Shot. I mean, we should say, basketball is a massive global game. Motorsports, it is a global sort of interest, but it's a much lower level than basketball. So I wouldn't necessarily expect to see the same velocity around this, although clearly being the next game to launch on the Flow blockchain is going to attract a lot more attention than if it was launching on Ethereum. Clearly, a lot of people on the Flow blockchain are happy to spend money and have made quite a lot of money on the NBA Top Shot experience. So they've got money to kind of invest in new things potentially. So there will also be a sale. So the first sale of these NFTs. Not quite sure how they're going to go. If they're going to go in packs or if they're going to go as kind of just you go and buy the bikes you want. That's going to happen on the 26th of March. So a month's time. You can do that using your credit card. So Flow has a really good kind of onboarding or like an on-ramp. So you basically can use a credit card to buy things on a blockchain. Or you can also use Rev. So Rev is the token that runs on the Ethereum blockchain, and that underpins all the motorsport games that Animoca Brands is doing. Quite how it's going to issue that on Flow blockchain, not quite sure. So Flow, the Rev currency is currently an ERC20 token, which is an Ethereum standard. Flow is not compatible with Ethereum, so I guess they're going to have to either take some ERC20 tokens and burn them and then reissue them on the Flow blockchain. That's probably how they would do it, or they could just create a whole bunch of new Rev tokens on the Flow blockchain. Although that probably conceptually doesn't work out so well for people because people don't like to see that sort of inflation. But they probably could do that. We'll see. and the rest of it I think is going to be kind of people just saying, isn't it great? So Roham is the CEO of Dapper Labs. He's just saying Flow's brilliant, and the person who runs MotoGP is saying NFTs are brilliant. So if you want to find out more, the MotoGP Ignition website is now live. There's nothing on it apart from a big picture of a motorbike. Should we go and have a look? Actually, let's not do that first. You can sign up there if you've not signed up to their email list. You can do that. And down here we can see some of the. So this is a 2020 Monster Energy Yamaha bike from Valentino Rossi. Even I've heard of Valentino Rossi. And this is a Aprilia Racing from Grassini Brady Smith. No idea who he is, but you can kind of get the idea of what the thing's going to look like, and it looks like the bikes are going to be very specific to the riders. There's another one here, a Suzuki one. So let's go and see if we can get that website to load and go and have a look at that. So for sake of showing you the website, here's the website, and there's not a lot there. Pictures of motorbikes, fill in your email address to keep up to date with what's going on, change the language, and check out. This is the Rev token, and that's the Animoca Brands token, so kind of a holding page at the moment. But anyway, 26th of March is the thing to think about. I guess you will have to have a Flow account, which is pretty easy to set up, but I guess there'll be more details about how to do that at the moment. I think at the moment the Flow accounts are set up as you set up your NBA Top Shot account, so I'm not quite sure how the migration system will work on that. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so that's interesting. Flow, massive success in terms of blockchains, and this is the first kind of proper game going live on it, so that's exciting. Thanks for watching the video. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where sort of becoming hard to keep track of all the stuff that's happening, to be totally frank. But I hope it's useful to get these videos. Please subscribe if you're interested. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.